Hey everybody, welcome to This Pink Cloud. I am DJ Kelly Reverb. We are a show that is on, that almost sounded like I went, wee. We're a show that's about mental health, recovery, all that good stuff, multiple pathways to recovery, all that good stuff. I am excited to have this young man on. I actually met him recently at a mental health awareness event. But ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Gil-T Pleasure. And that name is Gil and then T Pleasure, right?
That's correct.
All right. And then how did well, we'll get into that, how that came about, because that's a fun name.
Yeah.
But yeah, we briefly talked. I enjoyed your set, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was like, ooh. I was like secretly Shazamming over there. I was like, I don't know that remix. But yeah, and then we talked briefly, and then you were like, oh yeah, I'd like to be on the show, and I was like, hey, I'd like to have you on, and then here it is, here you are. So, but yeah, I guess kind of give us your backstory and how you wound up in recovery and stuff.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be on the show, Kelly. It's always a great sign when another DJ is Shazamming your tracks. So it feels like
yeah, right.
Feels like I'm doing something right.
Little street cred, and it's on the internet now. So now,
now everyone has to come to my show.
I can't deny it.
Yeah, so I actually first started my musical journey back in middle school. I actually was in orchestra and band, so I was a huge music nerd growing up.
Nice. What did you play?
I played bass, actually.
Bass. Okay, so so like in band, you had like was it like a bass guitar or bass?
Yeah, so in orchestra, I played the stand-up bass.
Oh, the upright bass. Okay,
upright,
yeah, because my dad actually had that, so I grew up with one of those in my house.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, they're huge. Yeah, they take up a lot of space.
Right.
And after that, basically, I played for 7 years in orchestra. The last 2 years of high school, I joined band, played tuba and sousaphone.
Oh, okay. Hold on, dude. We got to stop here, and we got to talk about the PTSD of large instrument syndrome, dude.
Yes.
Because if you're playing the upright bass and you're playing the tuba, dude, you're like that kid that's like two-handing it, like, and carrying like lopside to wherever you need to be, dude. So I already feel your pain. I was a trumpet / cornet guy, so
cool.
I was just like, boom, lunchbox, I'm there.
Must have been nice,
yeah.
For travel.
Yeah.
And then
but it preconditioned you for the DJ mobile setup.
100%, 100%. I had an affinity for expensive musical instruments
and heavy gear, right?
Heavy gear.
It has to be heavier. I don't want it.
I was training all my life for this moment, but
Gotcha.
So I did those two. I was successfully able to make all region in orchestra. So I added some accomplishments there.
Right.
And then I was also in jazz band. I also had an actual like rock band. We played at the talent show. I played guitar. So all throughout middle school and high school, I was very much into music.
Right.
And then after high school, I kind of had this weird transition into what do I do next? Because none of those things really spoke to me, or they were just very hard to get into after those stages in life. And so I went to my first festival ever, my first show ever, which was EDC Dallas.
Oh,
actually,
wow.
at Fair Park.
And what year was that?
2011.
Okay. And who do you remember the headliners?
Mount Eden was one of them. I'm sure I saw Cascade. I'm sure I saw some other bass artists in the bass pod. But I wasn't as into the scene as I would have liked because I didn't really know who all was playing at that time. I just was
Right.
invited, and then after that, I just fell into the black hole or the abyss
Yeah.
that is the electronic music scene,
Right.
and yeah, I just
You
got
were
hooked.
hooked. So
I was hooked.
the first whatchamacallit, the EDC experience got you
Hmm.
hooked to electronic music.
Yep.
That's
And
cool.
yeah. And then when I first got into DJing, I was 20 years old.
Okay.
I played at a club in Dallas. You may remember it. It was
Hmm?
called Plush
I
uh,
do. Yeah, on Main Street.
on Main Street. That's
It's
right.
funny. I was walking by there the other day because I was going to the Jewel Hotel.
Right, right.
Yeah, so I remember Plush well. Now, what night were you there?
It was, oh, that's a good question. Maybe it was a Saturday or something, but
Uh huh.
it was my first ever like real gig.
Yeah, and because I remember Plush was trying to be kind of cool guy,
Hmm.
but it didn't really translate. So there was a lot of crossover that you would have to
Yeah.
seed the evening with, right?
So we were when I first got there, the first time I played, I was in the basement. I don't know if you remember, there was three
I
levels.
do remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I was lugging. It was funny because I said I was like 20, and they didn't ask for my ID or anything because I was lugging around CDJs,
Oh
and
yeah.
and so you show up, and then they're like, yeah, yeah. The bouncer was like, yeah, you're good, man. Go for it. I was
Well,
like, okay,
just so people know, that was before the USB days, right?
yeah.
You were doing the phone book of CDs, is what I used to call it.
Hmm.
Like you'd bring
Yes.
the thick like phone book, and you're like, oh, "Where's that CD?" You
Hmm.
know, and then you're like, "Oh, that's the one," and
Hmm.
then you would put it in and play
Right.
it. Yeah, if you were
Exactly.
organized, you had all your shit on one, but that was never the case. You know,
Hmm.
for me at least.
Right. And
Yeah,
we also did Serato. So
yeah,
I had
yeah, yeah.
the Serato box and the time coded CD. So
Right.
it wasn't as big of a deal because I could use my laptop in those days,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
is how I transitioned into playing on like that main stage, which had the turntables,
Ah,
the
gotcha.
Technique turntables, and so
Right. Yeah. And they had the time coded
right,
platters and all
yeah,
that good stuff in
hmm
the Serato breakout box. The
hmm
good old days, dude. The good old days. The good old days of dead RCA cables.
Oh my
And
goodness,
you're
I
like the
don't miss them.
scramble. Like you're like, oh crap, dude. Did I? It's got to be one of these cables, and you would have to literally,
That
spot check every one.
That and it was also the gymnastics of switching a laptop when you had the Serato box.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes if you only had the Serato box with one USB, you had to figure out some way to keep music going.
Oh
And
yeah.
one of the ways I figured it out was if you had a RCA to like 8 millimeter that you could plug into your phone, because at that
Oh,
time
there you
the
go.
phones had the headphone
The
jacks.
out, yeah, the out, dude. I love it. I used to call that the $100 cable
Yep.
that I had because it was RCA to mini,
Hmm.
and so the reason why it was the $100 cable is because if anybody had a request and I didn't want to play it or whatever, I
It's a
go,
hundred bucks.
hey, yeah, dude,
It still
if
is
you
a
want to,
hundred bucks. It's
yeah. If you want the latest Taylor Swift, you're gonna have to pay.
that's exactly right.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically how I got started and
Oh,
how I got
cool.
into the scene.
Right. Well, so, but like, let's hear, like, as far as, I mean, because I know that you're in recovery or trying, or actually you were, I guess, maybe, had experienced different periods of sobriety and then going back and then sobriety. So let's talk about that since, shows a little bit about recovery and mental health.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
we know all the pitfalls of being in the scene. It's a perk of the job. So
Hmm.
you know,
It's the accessibility, it's the free shots, it's at the end of the day, I think it's alcohol is the gateway drug.
yeah,
Uh, and I think the alcohol leads to everything else. And I think
okay,
for me at least, once I cut that out, I just to give context, like
Right.
uh I had my first journey of sobriety for about a year
Hmm.
back in
Hey, by the way, can
2023.
you go center screen a little more? There
Yeah,
we go.
yeah,
Just in case AI,
yeah,
just in case AI wants to edit you later.
yeah. So I had my first, I guess, phase of sobriety back in 2023, and
Okay.
w essentially, I just wanted to make changes to my life, and I wanted to improve, and just, I think overall, just be a better person. And I
Okay.
think once I took alcohol out, I was able to achieve that. I was able
Right.
to get to that next level. I felt like I plateaued in different areas of my life, whether it be professionally, like in like a day job, or even DJing,
Hmm.
even as a partner,
Hmm.
romantically,
Okay.
as a friend, as a brother, as a son.
Yeah.
I think I
All
plateaued.
around person.
Yeah, all around
All
person. Yeah.
around person upgrade.
And,
What?
and
Yeah.
oh, I was just gonna say that after I cut out alcohol, my life improved tenfold, I would say.
Right. So I have a question for you. Was it like at some point did the alcohol use become like a daily thing, or was it just like more of a binge, like when you're DJing,
hmm
you know?
Yeah, great question. It never was a daily thing for me. It
Okay.
was more so there. I think there's triggers, as the professional term for it,
Sure, yeah. Which
and
are and it's
which
called nightclubs.
and it's called nightclubs. It's called anything exciting and
Hmm.
fun
Right.
that you experience. I mean, it's subjective, right? But
Mm.
anytime you DJ, all it takes is a couple of shots, couple of drinks here and there, and then you're off to the races.
You have to get in the zone, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's for me there was the pregame
hmm
and then the
Yep.
postgame.
And then the post, yeah, and then it's 6 a.m.
Right, yeah. And then the birds are coming and school buses are passing by and you're like, why am I still
Right.
up?
And
Yeah.
when I had that period of sobriety, I that didn't mean that I didn't stay up all throughout the night,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I still had friends that wanted to hang out, they still wanted to come over. I just did it
Mm-hmm.
sober, right?
Okay.
Or alcohol sober. So it
Right.
was still, um I would say I would wake up feeling a little tired, but not as like not hungover, not having that anxiety, not
Sure.
being able to
Did
still
you
do
actually just say hangxiety?
anxiety.
That
Yeah.
is true because that's it's funny you bring that up, but that was what was happening with me. And I was just throwing alcohol to mask my anxiety, but I was like, the temporary solution became the problem
hmm
for me. But I didn't, I mean, even though people told me,
hmm
I was like, well, whatever, you don't get it, man. You don't have panic attacks. You don't have anxiety.
Right.
And this, to me was a learned behavior.
hmm
When I throw alcohol at it, it's going to go away. I'm going to be, oh,
hmm
yeah, I'm in the zone now. But then you don't realize the hangover aspect brings on the anxiety the next
Right.
day. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And I
So
and
I
for
love that word, and I will be stealing that
Dude.
word.
Yeah,
Hangxiety.
the anxiety, yes. And I think for me, one of the other things that I had to work on
Mm-hmm.
is my social anxiety. For
Mm.
me, I'm more of an introvert. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
gravitated to DJing, is because I got to do what I love to do without having to talking to anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
And
I get that for sure. Yeah.
hmm
It's funny. I can't stand talking in front of crowds, as you well know, dude. Like,
yeah.
I mean, but the thing is this kind of stuff even used to make me nervous.
hmm
But it's like one of those things that I like to do now, is challenge myself. And just it's okay to I like to say raw dog life,
Yeah.
and just be uncomfortable and experience it until you do become comfortable, and just challenge yourself that way. Even if you feel like you look like an idiot, it's okay because it's all part of the experience, man. And then, you just realize that, you get just more comfortable with it when you're talking in front of people. But, the whole DJ thing, when I started,
Hmm.
was, you're by the bathroom at the Lizard Lounge,
Yep.
you're not
Yep.
main stage. You're not like, oh shit, I have to have a routine. I have to have choreography now.
Right.
Like
Right.
how you feel. So, and I get that because, it wasn't like we were titty bar DJs and having to do excessive mic work or anything.
Right.
So, yeah, but I get that. So, yeah, because you're kind of cool, like you're extrovert introvert because you're in your own world, even though everybody's looking at you.
Right. I'm
Yeah,
sharing my world with
yeah, yeah, yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
And that's what I
Exactly.
that's what I enjoy and that's what I'm very comfortable with.
Yeah.
So,
Well, so did you? I mean, when you tried that sobriety, um, was alcohol a problem for you at that point, or did you see it becoming a problem? Or
I definitely saw it becoming a problem. I
okay.
think, I'd like to say I live by a certain set of rules. Like when it comes to the partying, it's like, hey, you can't miss work. You can't
Mm-hmm.
let it affect your friendships or your family life. You can't let it affect um, the music. And I think I started to see that it was.
Okay.
And I started to see hints of that. Maybe I was a
Right
little
now, so
tired at
can you
work.
can you illustrate on that? Like, what
Yeah.
were what were some of the telltale signs that you were noticing?
I think there was a tendency to isolate, and so that
Mm.
would really stress some of the friendships that I had. I'd be invited out, and I'm like, oh, no, I don't feel like it. I'm kind of
Right.
hungover.
Oh, Gil's too good for us now.
Exactly. Exactly.
Gil's a bitch,
And
dude.
and it's not that I, wanted to. I was just like, oh, I'm just too tired.
Right. Yeah.
I don't feel like going out and
Mm-hmm.
having a good time. I just want to be inside and away from the world.
Sure.
And
In the pain cave.
right,
Right.
right, in the pain cave. That's right.
Right.
Maybe I wasn't as sharp, like, at work, or maybe I wasn't being well, I guess in the DJ world, trying to get more gigs, trying
Mm-hmm.
to network,
Sure.
I was isolating, right?
Yeah.
And I felt that, in order to kind of get to that next level of DJing or of, being a better, family member, being a better partner, I
Mm-hmm.
needed to just cut it out. And when I did it, I just went kind of went just cold turkey and
Okay.
did that for 11 and a half months.
Okay. And then that experience, like, I mean, I know you touched on it earlier, but what can you kind of illustrate maybe what, some of the things that you noticed personally, with that window of sobriety?
Initially, I had to face the social anxiety head on.
Mm. Yeah,
And there was,
like
yeah,
DJing sober.
raw dogging the set
Yes,
sober.
yes. I am aware of that, and that was awkward when I first got sober.
Hmm.
That was definitely like I'm in, bumfuck Mississippi, like Ocean Springs something, and everybody's, 6 Miller Lights in, and I'm like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
you know?
What do I have all
Yeah.
this time for? What am I
Right,
supposed to do with
right.
my hands?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Or just talking. I'm going to talk to people now. Okay.
Right.
I got to go work the crowd.
Hmm.
Right.
And after you face that social anxiety head on and you understand what exactly is happening, for me, I just need to practice talking to people,
Yeah.
essentially. Like
Doing
I need to,
reps.
right,
Yeah.
right, reps, exactly.
Yeah.
And once you started to practice, then you get good at it, and then you realize that you had it in you the whole time.
Right. Right. And then all that starts to dissipate. Like the whole,
Hmm.
I'm going to say something stupid. I'm just resigned to the fact that I'm going to say something stupid. And it's
It's
okay.
it's the fear of rejection or like this fear of failure, I think that's where it really stems
Right.
from. That's another topic for,
Right.
childhood
Well,
traumas,
yeah,
but
that's I'm gonna have to charge you hourly for
yeah.
that conversation. No, but like that's the whole thing. Like I really still, even in like recovery meetings, if I talk to the group, if I'm addressing the group, I automatically just go into awkward mode. And
Yep.
I have all this good stuff here, but
Hmm.
then for some reason I could do like a one-on-one, great. I
Hmm.
got that down. But then when it's like 15, 20 people, for
Hmm.
some reason, it's just weird. And it's like you said, just you have to do it and you have to lean into that discomfort if you want to, be I guess
Right.
successful at speaking to a group, because I mean
Hmm.
that's a big fear for a lot of people, is talking to a group.
Right.
And it's just one of those things that's a work in progress for me.
I think there's different levels to it too, because you can I in my experience, whenever I had like a team or like at work, you get comfortable with those people, talking to them
Sure.
every day because you're
Mhm.
practicing. But when you're talking to strangers, that's like a
Yeah.
whole nother level of
Yeah. Right.
discomfort. And
Uh-huh.
and I think, yeah, once you start practicing it, you will get better at it for sure.
Sure. And then so what do you do for the day job where you have to engage?
I for me, I'm in project management, so
Because I see
I
all the plaques back there, so that I know they're for something.
Yeah, so these top ones,
Uh-huh.
that was all region, all region, all region. This is a band award,
Oh, okay.
that was given to the like at the basically like all star is what
Okay.
it was,
All right.
all star of the band or something like that. And
Oh,
then this was
nice.
middle school. This was like a senior award. No,
Okay.
something. I don't think it was senior. It was an outstanding award, and then there was
Okay.
another all region, I
All
think,
right.
on that side. So
I'm like, these are all my records.
I
And then I'm
have
like,
I
and
have
these
records
over
too.
here are all my records.
They're my records are
Right.
just down here, and I've got my like
Nice.
record player right there.
I
So,
gotcha. I
um,
gotcha. Well, so I got a question. So
sure.
do you still do the whole live instrument thing?
I would love to get back into it.
Right.
Right now, I'm trying to learn the piano. The piano, I think,
Ah, I like the whole one man band aspect, because you've got what, the tuba, the
hmm
upright bass, and
guitar.
guitar, okay,
Yeah.
and then piano.
hmm
Yeah, and then I mean obviously you've got the percussion element with the DJ.
Yeah.
So, did
I
you actually, I guess when you started DJing, they already had the LED screen, so you could already go 126.3, 126.3. Boom.
hmm
You never had to do the by ear.
I challenged myself sometimes.
Well, but also
I would cover
being
them
in a
up.
band, you have to be on time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You have to listen in jazz band. You'd have to listen to the percussion or
Mm.
we were part of the rhythm section,
Yeah.
so you have to listen to the drums to make sure that you're in time.
Mhm.
As in orchestra and in band, you're
Yeah.
paying attention to the conductor.
You're beat matching without knowing it. Right?
There's no sync button there.
Right, exactly, dude. Where's the sync button on my upright? No, where's the sync button on my tuba?
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
That would be funny.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, so that's cool. So then you're learning piano now?
Yeah, yeah, trying to learn
Okay.
piano, but the my priority right now is producing.
Ah, okay. And how's
Producing.
that
That's what
going?
it's going good. The
Okay.
last 2 years, I've had two tracks signed, but
Oh, nice. With who? Anybody I would know or
no,
no?
there was just Deep
Okay.
House Natural, and then the other one was
Okay.
House of Bangers. So,
Okay.
um, yeah,
Lots of labels out there.
absolutely. So I think
Right.
right now, just making understanding how to produce a track, but then also reach out, and what that
Mm.
process looks like to get it signed, I think
Oh.
has been a very
Preaching, you're preaching to the choir.
yep.
Yeah.
It's a skill all of its own.
Well, so what I figured out, and kind of what I've always thought, and just how I think is, I was like, so I once I got clean, then I started producing again, because that was a void that was there
Hmm.
for me. But then also, it's like, I'm hunting for these labels. Everybody wants to be on Tool Room.
Right.
Good luck, dude.
Good. Yeah.
Because everybody wants to be on Tool Room. Everybody wants to be on this label.
Yeah.
There's a small group of labels that actually have a business plan and actually have cachet
Right.
with there, and you want that as a producer. You don't want to put it out with what I call bottom feeders, right?
Hmm.
Because there's a lot of them out there, and it took me. But the cool thing about being sober is you notice shit more.
Right.
You're like, okay,
Hmm.
this guy has no fucking business plan. You know,
Hmm.
you notice stuff like that. It's just like, okay, well, how do I promote that? How do I know if this person has a business plan or
Hmm.
not? But so when I did sign, I signed with a friend of mine, and I was like, "Hey, what's your business plan?" And it's just like, "Well, do a couple reels, and then I put it on this playlist that no one gets
Yeah.
no engagement." And I'm like, "Well, okay, I could do that." And
Right.
then, so I had a vinyl label, and basically I figured out, and I'll give away the secret. I use a platform called InFlight, and
Okay.
there's definitely some finesse to that, but that gets it into the hands of DJs, worldwide. And the thing is also, I did my own label because I don't need somebody to tell me that this is good. If I think it's good, it's art. It's
Right.
subjective, It's just like, I'm not making a track for the dance floor. I'm making a track for me. At that
Exactly.
time, I'm like stream of consciousness when I'm making a track, and I'm like, okay, cool. I know what a track sounds like because I have 30 plus years of experience of listening to exactly, certain things that remind me or inspire me and all that stuff. And the thing is I was like, oh, well, I'm going to, have my own label, because I can be building a fan base and a platform, while everybody's telling me no.
Right.
And that's basically my hustle.
There you go. You got to
So
figure it out, Kelly.
yeah. Well, no, and that's why I was like saying, hey, man, start your own label, everybody.
Yeah.
Start your own label and get your own in flight. And then that's how
Hmm.
you do it. And then while I'm doing that, I'm, passively shopping, but I'm also making, contacts while I'm going. It's like, oh shit, dude, this guy's running that, and this guy, and I know that guy, and and it's kind of like, hustling for gigs,
Right.
just a different thing, and it's international too,
There we go.
and that's the cool thing, you
I'm gonna
know.
write that down.
Yeah, you can watch this back and
Yeah.
right, but yeah, no, I'll help you out anything I can do, dude. Because I know it's frustrating, and that's the whole thing. I'm building a fan base while these people are telling me no. But then now it's funny, because now that my stuff is having some success, then all of a sudden, oh, here's the VIP table, kid.
Hmm.
Right over
Hmm.
here, and that all takes time, though. I mean, nobody's gonna give it to you. You have to. It's consistency. Obviously, the tracks have to resonate with somebody.
Right.
But that part I don't really concern myself with. If I, like I said, you've heard enough music. You know
Hmm.
what's good,
Right.
right? I
Hmm.
mean, fuck everybody else. It's like Rick Rubin. It's just like, I'm not making the music for them. I'm making it for me, you
Exactly.
know,
This is
because
a
it's
collection of my
expression, and
thoughts.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I guess let's throw to commercial real quick, and then we'll be right back. Hey guys, Kelly Reverb here. Yep, you guessed it. We have no sponsor. Hey, so if you want to be a sponsor of the show, be sure and hit me up on thispinkcloud@gmail.com. Also, hit the link tree, please. We could always use your support. There is a one-time donation. There is a monthly support button, all that stuff. Also, we're doing shout outs. So if you want a shout out, we can work that out. And if you want to be a guest, hit me up. All this good stuff can happen via email at thispinkcloud@gmail.com. All right, well, we appreciate your continued support. We always love you guys. All right, and that is our new sponsor. And then we also have some new music, and here that is.
Music is not about itself. Music is about balance.
All right, and that is the new stuff. And be sure, and if you're on Spotify, you can follow me. Obviously, follow the podcast, This Pink Cloud, and all that good stuff. And all the stuff's doing well, so I'm excited. And, just got to go to Mexico, which was dope. So, anyway, good things happen to people that get sober. I think I don't know. I mean, I just think it's my mindset has reset. You know what I mean? I know that the harder you work, the luckier you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So, but like, let's get to where you were, because I know you said that you had like a period of 11 months of sobriety. So then, if you've got all these unicorns and rainbows happening, in your life, and I always say that, like, whenever I got sober, it wasn't unicorns and rainbows, it was still life on life's terms. But what made you go, okay, well, I'm going to go back and see what the drinkers are doing?
Yeah, it's funny. I was actually at a music festival. They always start with music festivals. But it was a camping festival named Desert Hearts.
I was gonna say Lee Reynolds, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, first and foremost, if you haven't been, you must go. It
Right.
is one of
It's in
those.
Phoenix, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The one you
Well,
had.
we were in Flagstaff
Oh, okay. Well,
and
yeah, Arizona. Yeah.
Arizona, and
Yeah.
I mean it's absolutely beautiful. It was really hot, very cold at night, and it was such a spiritual experience,
Love it.
in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Now, was it
And
chemically induced spiritual, or was it
to
a little
to
bit
be
of both?
determined.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
But
I cannot confirm nor
nor did I.
deny. Right.
Well, it was in that festival. I took the first day and it was sober throughout, and I went with a group of people. They were all very respectful
Hmm.
of my boundaries, and they were the ones telling me, "Hey, you don't have to drink, you don't have to do anything. You'll be fine here, and you're in a
Right.
safe space." And I think for me, that being in that environment in a safe space is what kind of encouraged me to kind of just try it again. Just, hey, let's just give this a second chance. Let's see if we can get it under control,
Hmm.
and dip the pinky toe back into the water.
Right.
Um, Obviously, that's I, it's more than a pinky toe that really
Sure.
gets dipped in, right? Anytime
Right.
you go back, you
Well, some people can do it. Some people, and the thing is, I mean, I still have that little devil on the shoulder. Oh, you can have one,
yeah,
can't you?
yeah,
And I
yeah.
mean, that's the $1 million question. Do I want to, chance it? And then for me, it was just like, well, I mean, I had 35 plus years of drinking heavily, so let's try let's try to raw dog for a little bit, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And in that music festival, it was very hot, so you're of course you're dehydrated, you're
Yeah.
drinking a lot of water. The alcohol really just didn't do anything to you. You didn't really get
Mm,
drunk because you're just trying to hydrate the entire time.
sure.
You're um Yeah, so for me that's how it started. I I
Okay.
was in a
Well,
safe
and yeah.
space. I think that was the most important part for me is that if I wanted to try it again, let's just be in a safe, comfortable place where we, are not going to ruin our lives. If
Right. Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's designed for expressing yourself out there, you know.
hmm
It's definitely a psychedelic friendly
hmm
zone.
And I had an amazing time.
Right.
Which is why I kind of, not kind of, I kept drinking
Okay.
for basically almost a year,
hmm
another year, and then that's after almost a year. That's when I kind of chose to get back into sobriety.
Okay. And then as far as sobriety, do you do anything like for recovery? I mean, because like a lot of people, there's the 12-step program that a lot of people go to. And then there's actually even cognitive behavioral groups out there.
hmm
So what did you have any kind of network, like a sober network or anything
Like a
like that?
support system,
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
like a
yeah.
sobriety buddy, or
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, they have apps for that now, Sober
yeah.
Buddy and all that stuff.
I did have an app that I used, which counted the number of days that you were sober. For me, I was also counting the number of days that I had gone without nicotine, and,
Oh,
and so
yeah,
I was
that
counting.
one is still a problem for me.
I
It was
have
it I Am Sober, the
I
app.
have like a little
Oh,
mini hookah,
oh, there we go.
so I'll
Oh
smoke
man.
that. But it's that having that number and being able to try to push it day by day, hour by hour,
hmm
take what's the saying? Take every day as a step, or
Yeah, something
day at a time, day at a
along those
time.
lines. Yeah, day at a time, hour at a time, minute at a time, second at a time. Yeah,
That's
that kind
right.
of yeah.
And eventually, it's all about reps. You just keep doing it. You get better at it over time. It's hard at
hmm
first, but
hmm
yeah, what helped for me was keeping track of it on an app,
Yeah.
journaling.
Yeah.
I
Ah, I
journal.
love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that I have back here that I've created, or I was given this book,
hmm
Led Zeppelin,
Oh,
but
here, put it
it's
over. Wait, put it over. Just there we go.
there we go.
Ah, dude, the that's the Swan song, right?
Yeah.
Or what's? Oh, hey,
And there goes
cave
all.
in, right? What? So, what's the name of the book?
Oh, so this isn't a book, this is a journal, but the
Oh, it's the
cover,
I gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, the cover
The is
actually,
Icarus actually?
yeah, so
Isn't
essentially
that
it's,
Kid Icarus or
yeah,
Icarus who flew too close to the sun, right?
right.
Something like that. Yeah.
So anyway, I jot down quotes,
Okay.
things that inspire me. I have a whole
Okay.
list
Well,
of
I'm gonna put you
prompts.
on the spot. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Let's hear some of your favorite quotes.
All right, this one was one I wrote recently. Quotes that speak to me, right?
Okay.
Did you see the movie Dune?
I did. He who
So
controls the spice controls the universe.
it's good. That's a good
Right.
one.
Well,
Yeah.
I put it in a song actually. I
Mm-hmm.
used that
Oh,
sample from
really?
the 80s movie. There's a song called
Oh.
the 12-inch, the extended version of Government has
hmm
it at the very end, just as a little treat for myself.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So this one, a man does not seek to lead. He's called to it, and he answers.
Okay. I
hmm
like that. Any more?
hmm No, that was the only one I got.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a
Um,
start. It's a start.
yeah. Let's see. Three things you're grateful for.
Okay. That's a
So
good daily exercise there.
showing gratitude for the things
hmm
you have. So I'm grateful for all the friends that show up to my gigs.
Yeah.
That's something that I don't take for granted. It takes a
Right.
lot of effort to make it out there to even buy a drink, support the business, right?
Sure.
Grateful for all of the work connections trying to get me a job after being laid off.
Okay.
So one thing that's happened recently, actually last Friday, is that I was laid off
Ah,
from my job.
yeah.
No, yeah. So
Life on life's terms.
hey, uh, we're not in, I don't feel any danger or anything. I feel
Hmm.
good. I have backup plans on backup plans. So
Yeah.
it's a result of my preparedness is a result of the effort that I've achieved, or
Hmm.
basically the work I've done,
Right.
even being sober
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Well,
all of
no,
the.
and it's also good to have, multiple career paths as well. So you can lean into the DJ a little bit harder just in case, or,
Right.
yeah,
Hmm.
until you find the ideal fit for the day job or whatever.
Hmm.
I'm a big fan of, uh, why, build your own dream, and don't waste your time building someone else's dream. You
I
know
love
that
that.
I'm a DIY guy all the way, and it's not always the most financially sound
Hmm.
plan. It's like okay, I got sober. Okay, Kelly, let's start a podcast, and then let's become a DJ, and
Hmm.
or let's start producing again and become a DJ. And I'm just like, good luck, dude. I mean, but the thing is I know because I've been there before. I've done this before, and I know that it can be done. But it's here, dude.
Hmm.
It's here and it's here. And I absolutely love to produce, and I didn't realize how much I had missed it.
Hmm.
But what happened for me, as we were talking earlier, is the MP3, came along and it phased out the vinyl. Vinyl went away. And then I was like, okay, well, that's kind of like my advertising budget there, you
Right.
know, and that's how I'm getting booked. And then it was just like, how do you market an MP3 now? And then, once you start firing on all cylinders, you start figuring stuff out. You're
Right.
like, oh, okay, cool. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. It's not rocket science, man. I mean, basically, to be a headlining DJ, you need to have Instagram following and a
Yep.
spot
Yep.
a Spotify following, and then you just make the network. Um, Beyond that, I mean, it's funny. My friend that I played with is from Greece in Mexico, but
Oh,
he,
cool.
he said the term to me about Mexico. He goes, "Map unlocked."
Map.
Like
Yeah.
like a gaming thing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, dude, that's a good analogy because it really is like because I mean I got there, I met a ton of cool people,
Hmm.
and then you just start like, oh, well, this is so and so that does so and so, and this is so and so that does so and so, and you're like,
Hmm.
wow, cool, man. Okay, here, follow me here, blah blah blah. Do all,
Yeah.
all the networking stuff, but it's cool because it's like that boots on the ground networking.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny that you mentioned that too. I went to Colombia in Medellin
Oh,
this
nice.
in March, and I got to play there at
Yeah,
one of the clubs.
right.
And the how I did it was actually pretty funny. I had a Prime Go. It's the standalone DJ controller from Denon
Oh,
that
I
runs
know,
on a
I know
battery.
that. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know if
Hmm.
you know Kyoki.
Mm-mm,
Uh,
mm-mm.
uh, Kyoki was a god back in the day. I played with him in Houston, and he shows up with this literally like this old school briefcase,
Yeah.
like old man 70s briefcase, and just goes click. And I was like, oh, that's pretty badass. Yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
and what we were doing was it was me and I had another I was there for a bachelor party first of all.
okay.
And I had all the guys, our plans had fell through, so I was just like, let's just go around to the strip of like bars that we're on. Let's just go bar to bar. Let's just see who's gonna let us play.
Right.
And
Oh, so you were doing pop up DJ
pop
gigs.
up DJing,
I
and
love it. Yeah.
it was so funny because we got rejected by the first one, but the
Hmm.
second one, it was this rooftop bar that was almost, it felt like you were in the jungle a little bit because you
Oh,
were.
cool. Right.
And he saw we went out to him and said, hey, can we play? We've got all of the stuff that we need. We just need to hook up into your audio, and then we're good to go. And he's like, for free? And I was just like, I just want to play, and I
Yeah.
want my friends to have a good time.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, 1 second, let me check. And he's like, let me see your Instagram. Funny enough that you bring up Instagram. And I said,
Yeah,
all right,
right.
here you go. He saw pictures, professional pictures of me DJing, and he's like, all right, come on in.
That's
And
hilarious, dude. You got IG checked, dude, in
yes,
Medellin.
yeah. Now I am Mr. Medellin.
Nice. I like it. Well, and are you, I guess, do you speak Spanish as well?
I do.
Yeah,
So I
so
was able
that
to
helps.
communicate with them, and
Right.
we got positive. It's funny because they had us on a low volume at first for like a
Yeah.
minute or two, just to check us out to see
Yeah,
what we
just
were gonna play, and
right.
then
Not make sure you're not going to play bro step.
yes,
Yeah, right.
and once we started playing, all of these house bangers, and they were like,
Hmm.
these weren't like tech festival house bangers. I mean, this was just
Sure.
house, like
Yeah.
just straight up good,
Good
solid
vibes.
house.
Right.
Yeah. And then they were like, yeah, yeah, you're good. Let's turn it up. And
Okay.
and
Well,
when
and I was it similar to what you were playing when I saw you, or do you have a style that you go to?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I love a lot of different types of house. It just
Hmm.
depends on where I'm playing. If
Yeah.
I were to say one that is my favorite, I mean, it's just minimal.
Yeah.
Minimal is one of my favorites.
Like minimal house and
Mhm.
minimal like maybe like organic house or
Yeah,
more. Yeah.
that's a good way to put it. Like
Okay.
with some organic,
Okay.
very melodic bass lines is
Gotcha.
how I would point it out.
Mhm.
Maybe not as much vocals, less on the
Mhm.
vocals, more on the melodic bass line.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's what I kind of say like cuz in the 90s I was doing breakbeat and breakbeat was cool and I say this openly until Florida ruined it.
Oh,
And
no way.
turned it into booty bass.
Booty.
Because
Yep.
it used to be cool and it was like I could play both house and breaks and it was
Hmm.
okay. And then all of a sudden it got pigeonholed. And then I was
Hmm.
like, "Oh, okay, cool. Now it's a sideshow."
Yeah.
It's like drum and bass, I
Yeah.
love drum and bass.
Hmm.
But it's always going to be a sideshow. It's never going to be main stage.
Hmm.
House music will. And
Hmm.
so basically when I rebranded or reinvented myself, I was like, I don't want to pigeonhole myself again. I don't want to be melodic techno guy. I don't want to be disco house guy. I want to be whatever I want at that
Right.
moment. So the thing is I say I want to be able to play Groove Cruise,
Hmm.
pool party vibes, and then I want to go headline space,
Right.
and play, whatever 6 hours.
Right.
And you can. The thing is because like I mean I have different tracks that resonate with different people in different markets, and it's just like, hey, as long as you know my name, we're good,
Hmm.
dude.
Right.
As long as you like one of them, we're good, dude.
And here's the thing, who is limiting you
Yeah,
but yourself?
exactly. I love that.
Hmm.
Good point. Good
Hmm.
point, you.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about like so right now obviously day job is in limbo, but then where do you have like a residency where you DJ now?
Yeah, so I play every second Saturday at the Kava Bar, which is in North Dallas.
Okay.
Basically Addison.
Hmm.
Are you familiar with Kava?
I am
The
familiar with Addison because I used to live at a lovely uh, apartment complex called the Davenport, right off of the
Okay.
tollway, dude. Little
Ooh.
sketch, but it's hilarious because I started living there just on a whim. Literally, I moved from this really nice apartment and I was like, well, I know a girl that works there. She'll hook it up and blah blah blah. And so I got there and then the girlfriend at the time became the manager of the apartment complex. So then it became the DJ compound.
No
And
way.
everybody was like, "Hey, dude, can we get the hookup?" Because she didn't give two
Right.
shits. She was like, "Yeah, dude, I'll give him the homie hookup, whatever." And
Right.
so it became like 10 different DJs living in this one shithole esque
Oh.
apartment. I mean, it wasn't horrible.
Right.
It was like coming to America, dude. Like the outside was really sketchy, you know,
Hmm.
but like when you walked in to Eddie Murphy's like apartment, like it was
Hmm.
like hot tub and everything, like hardwood floors, everything looked super nice inside. It
Hmm.
was funny, but good times. But yeah, so anyway, Addison, and you're over there.
Yeah, so second Saturday of the month, I will be there along with another DJ friend of mine, Lima.
Okay.
So we'll do basically 3 hours, 8 to 11 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't had kava yet, it's an alcohol alternative.
Okay.
So very holistic. I love the vibe there. It's very friendly community.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people that are actually basically recovering.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is a alcohol-free zone, and then I'm familiar with kava because I've actually done an ayahuasca ceremony.
Oh, that's awesome. I want to do that too. I want to do that too.
What I can say is it's not for everybody.
Right.
You know, if you're okay with dying,
Yeah.
then you know,
That's what I've been told. Is like you have to be
right?
okay with dying. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But it was different, and it helped me kind of maybe refocus, like you know, as far as what's important to you,
Right.
you know.
Hmm.
Um, so it definitely did that, but you know, I also, you know, in recovery, you know, I mean, you know, I lost my mother, I've lost stepfather, all this stuff, and you know, you start questioning what the fuck is this all about, dude? You
Right.
know, and it's just like you kind of want answers, and then you go searching, you know,
Hmm.
and I don't know. I mean, I'm still in that process, but I just know that, you know, I might as well enjoy the ride while I'm here,
Right.
and me worrying or obsessing about stuff and trying to control my narrative,
Hmm.
it's not going to help. I mean, obviously I got to show up, I got to do the work, and you know, hopefully good things will come.
Hmm.
But I'm not going to micromanage, you know, what the universe has in store for me. I'm just going to be an antenna, and I'm just going to accept it, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, I think for me, I've had my own stints of over analyzing my own situations, and that's hindered my own progress. And I
Yeah.
think what I've learned is just to let go
Yeah.
and enjoy the ride and take risks.
Mhm.
That's I think what's the most important thing. And what I'm finding is that I'm getting the when I first started out, I was doing all the open format stuff. I was doing
Yeah.
stuff that anybody, if you had any gig, just let me know,
Right.
weddings, whatever. And
Yeah.
as I've matured, I've found what I've wanted to do
Mhm.
and places where I want to be.
Yeah.
And being out at 11 p.m. versus 2 a.m. is a huge improvement for me. I
Right.
think for on my own journey, I want to do more day events. I want to do more
Yeah.
holistic
Well,
stuff.
and I love it now that that's kind of also, you know, there's a whole sober curious movement and everything like that, because everybody realizes that, or it's more prevalent now than it ever was, you know, back in the day, you know,
Right.
because you know, you never really got the memo. It's just like, oh, drinking, I'm supposed to do that. That's part of my, you know, that's part of the job. That's part of DJing. And now it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to DJ a gig at a coffee bar or kava, you know,
Yeah.
even. And it's just like, oh, okay, cool. Nobody's drinking here, you know?
Right.
It's just like, that's interesting. Well, okay.
No,
So, but yeah.
I love it. I think that this movement is gaining traction. You
Hmm.
mentioned the coffee raves.
Hmm. Yeah.
Now there was one in like a bakery. There was a rave in a bakery or something like
Hmm.
that the other I saw on Instagram.
Right.
And I think that the music moving out of the bar and into other settings is a good thing.
Right.
Maybe some people might be annoyed that, oh, I'm just trying to get a sandwich and now I'm raving at,
Right.
at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
in the afternoon.
Uh-huh.
But but to be honest, like I don't think that there's much wrong with that. Like people
Right.
want to enjoy this music and still go about the rest of their days,
Right.
and have a productive day. That's a
Right.
good thing.
Right.
And
And
not
I just love I love the whole aspect of dance music, and that was one of the things that attracted me into it was just community. And
hmm
it's just like, oh, okay, cool. You know, these these people get what I get,
right.
like, and they get what I get out of music, and they enjoy music like I enjoy music. They're,
hmm
I always say like all producers are nerds.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, you got to duck this, you got to do that, and you got this plug in, you got that plug in, and it's just
Mm,
real like it gets real nerdy real quick, dude.
it's nerdy and expensive.
Yeah, yeah, that's that too, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think we touched on some good stuff today. So like, as far as I wanted to ask you, like, I mean, I know as far as journaling, but like, what do you do for self care now, like to
Yeah,
maintain?
working out, doing cardio.
Hmm.
If I had to give any advice, just being outside
Okay, I
and
like it. Little
running.
vitamin D.
Just go out and run, get a sweat, and then afterwards you're gonna feel that runner's high. You're gonna feel good about yourself, and you're gonna say, now I can relax.
Right.
Now I can kind of sit on the couch, enjoy,
Or now I can
or
do what I was avoiding.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And getting that heart race, getting that heart pumping, I think is step one,
Okay.
through exercise,
Sure.
and that's done wonders for me. Last year I got back into playing soccer because that was my sport growing up,
Right.
and I was able to
Is that
slim
a
down,
soccer
get heart.
jersey you have on? Future
No,
fantasy delight.
this is a jersey that I got from
That's
Meow
cool.
Wolf. I played
Oh,
last
nice.
week.
Yeah, I've heard of that
Yeah,
spot. I need to go there.
yeah.
It's great
Well,
for content.
I will invite you to play when I play.
I love
So,
it. Okay, I would love to, honestly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That would be great.
Cool. Well, yeah. So I got this here, but yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Well, cool. Yeah, so you would say physical activity and getting outside, and I think that's good too. Because I
hmm
notice, even, even like so this weekend, it's funny because in the Mexico International Airport, it was quite the walk to my gate, and
hmm
I mean, I was, I mean, I'm running on fumes because I got there at 4:30 in the morning because my flight's out at 6:30. So I'm one of those early bird guys that shows up and wants to chill. But then, like after I did that brisk walk to the terminal,
Right.
I was like, oh, cool, I'm good, dude. you know.
hmm
But yeah, so I totally agree with you on the exercise, even though I don't necessarily do it all the time.
Another thing that you might, another piece of advice is maybe even find a new hobby.
Yeah,
Start from ground zero somewhere.
I
Maybe
like
it's
it. Well, I like and you're a man of your word because you're doing the piano.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's cool.
Like you suck at it at first, and
Yeah,
it's okay to suck. And I think
yeah,
that's the lesson is we all suck at something when we first start, and we
yeah.
get better with practice. And
Right.
just like sobriety, you have to practice.
Yeah, and public speaking.
Exactly.
Exactly. I want to be I want to be the next Winston Churchill, dude. I want to be a great orator and talk to the masses.
hmm
No, but I no, I still that's another thing that I'm going to work on, and I'm going to continue to make myself uncomfortable
hmm
until like one day I'm going to go nailed it.
Exactly.
But anyway, so let's give out your socials and any shout outs you want to give out.
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram. It's Gil T underscore pleasure.
Okay.
And so you can find me as Gil-T Pleasure as well,
Okay.
on Spotify and on Instagram.
Well, I'm gonna have to check
Facebook's the
out your
same thing.
Spotify. I didn't even know.
Yeah,
We'll have to trade Spotify's.
there we go.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I want to check out your stuff.
Yeah, and then I'm let's see, playing at Kava Bar next not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So come check us out.
Okay.
8 to 11 p.m. That's going to be
And that's
in
this
North Dallas.
Saturday.
Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So that
Okay,
would,
so I might actually be able to make that one.
yeah, the
I think I
14th.
can. Yeah.
14th.
I think I'm good that weekend. So I think I
Hmm.
will come by and have some kava
Yeah. And then
and
grab me
microdose some mushroom. No, I'm just kidding.
out.
I'm just kidding.
We can make it happen.
Yeah, right. I got a guy with some chocolate.
Yeah. Why does this kava taste like chocolate?
Yeah, no, yeah, right.
They can make it chocolate though.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah. But
Well,
thank you for
cool.
letting me put a
Y-
part of your
y-
show, Kelly.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on, man. And then anybody you want to shout out, friends, family, partner, anybody?
Yeah. Thank you, Nasreen, for keeping me in check, and
Okay.
thank you to all my friends and family for keeping me in check and continuing to support me and my dreams. Well, everybody that comes out to my shows, like I really really appreciate it,
Right.
and it means the world to me that after 12 years of DJing, people are still coming out to support, and it really means a lot.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great when people appreciate what you do. It's nice to be appreciated, right? It's
Yeah.
nice to be accepted.
Hmm.
And I think that's kind of what I think that's what really kind of a lot of people are looking for,
Hmm.
is just acceptance and fitting in, and just,
Absolutely.
doing what you love.
Hmm.
But anyway, man, great episode. Good
Yeah.
talk. Good talk. I'll send you a check in the mail for the therapy.
Thanks. I'm dating a
I'll
therapist,
Venmo.
so you don't need to send anything.
Oh, there we go. There we go. That's funny. But yeah, okay. So follow Gil on Gil-T Pleasure on Instagram because that will give him street cred in the next random city he is in.
Absolutely.
And then be sure and follow us on Instagram where this underscore pink underscore cloud. And we're also streaming on Spotify, all that good stuff. So be sure and follow. You can follow me for the music. Kelly underscore reverb, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and I appreciate you guys coming on next week. We got some good stuff coming, so be sure and come back. And remember, kids, there is no magic pill for sobriety because if there was, we would all take too many.